Society was closing down. People were sick and dying. We had absolutely no medicines. We're sort of reminded, right, the hospital was a place to go when you were sick, but what could we do? So this is really the calling of the Harrington Discovery Institute, the responsibility and charge. After we got the backing, we went about reallocating resources and raising money to be sure that we were ready to make a difference. We know today that a first-generation vaccine will not solve the problem. Not enough people will take it, and the virus will mutate too quickly because of distribution, okay? So we are going to be needing more. And the solution is antivirals that we are experts in making. New ideas that will prevent transmission, prevent infection.
I study antibodies and their formation and their regulation. And I had been doing that pretty much most of my career. And as part of that, about 10 years ago, I started working on human immune responses to difficult viruses. When coronavirus came around, we decided that it would probably be a good idea to understand something about how humans respond to this virus and to see whether or not antibodies that we would obtain from these people would be clinically useful. So in this case, antibodies that are very potent to neutralize this virus, well, then you say to yourself, hey, maybe this could be useful and maybe it should be developed. And then if you're lucky and you have funders like the Harrington Institute, you can take things like this forward. What's unique there is that in addition to the finances, they also have the ability to provide a lot of expertise and advice about how to move things forward.
The urgency around COVID was a reminder for us of what it is that we do. We put out an international call for applications. We brought in 50 that we thought could change the world. We had enough money to fund 12, and we've been moving those 12 forward really quite successfully. We have a beautiful set of discoveries.
Matteo Parotto and I had been focusing on developing a platform for preventing viral entry that could really be applied broadly. Something that makes our antiviral strategy really different from others that you may have heard about is that our antiviral directly attacks the virus at its earliest step of getting into the person to start infection. We are directly stopping the virus. We think that our peptide antiviral is not going to have any side effects. It's not going to have any dangers. It's going to simply prevent the virus from ever getting in and ever causing any effects. You could get on a plane, you could go to a sporting event, you could go to a party, you could be protected with a once-a-day nasal spray. We are extremely excited about this, and we just are sort of really chomping at the bit to get this into people and move this forward. And this is where Harrington Discovery Institute and the Harrington Scholar Award came in as an essential piece of this, because what that does is it guides us from the science and the experiments that show that this works in animals, for example, to prevent transmission. The Harrington team that we have guides us into how we then take that into developing a drug that we could get out into human beings.
What we're focused on is developing a convenient single-dose treatment or preventative or just-in-time universal vaccine against COVID, all strains that arise. And rather than target some of the classic things that people have focused on for viruses, we sought to target the structure of the viral genome. Prior to COVID, I would say our research was focused on developing new types of antiviral drugs, also anti-cancer drugs. And so we actually were in a really good position to pivot when it became clear that COVID is something we need to address. And indeed, we were able to do this very quickly. And thanks to the support of the Harrington Discovery Institute, not only is there financial resources, but there's a great team that comes with it. And so it's really great working with them.
Our job is really to help the world live with this virus, right, in all of its forms, and with all of the challenges that it will pose for us. We're giving you the total complement of armamentarium that medicine needs to keep us healthy and to allow us to enjoy life to the fullest.